Greetings, my wicked darlings, and welcome to a little patch of live horror with the Newt. Today I'm reading from my latest anthology, Tales of the Macabre, Volume 3, available for pre-order now, on Amazon and all good bookstores, some terrible ones too. Tonight's tormented tale is aptly called Mind Games by Newton Webb. 12th of December, 2022, Essex, England. A wren hopped down into the bird bath, cautiously looking around before jumping into the water and splashing about in pure abandon. Jeff watched enviously, sipping his coffee through hooded eyes. When his watch chirped, he reluctantly left his vigil and returned to the sofa, opening his laptop on the coffee table and loading Zoom. Taking another sip, he waited for the call to come in. Right on cue, the screen flashed up with an incoming call notification from his new therapist, Dr. Andrea Colburn, PhD. He tapped on Join Call and smiled as an attractive redhead filled the screen, or at least her enormous hair and large glasses did. A scar creeping out towards her forehead did nothing to diminish her beauty. In fact, you might almost say that it accentuated it. "Hello," Jeff beamed at the lady, who responded with the restrained smile of a professional therapist. "Thank you for accepting my call. Do you mind if I call you Jeff?" "Not at all. Go ahead." She nodded her acceptance. "From your email, it sounds as though you've been going through a difficult time." Jeff flinched, then gave a more subdued smile. It's been difficult since the accident. The sleeping, mostly. I really appreciate you responding to my post. I've been off work, so with you waiving your fee, it makes a huge difference." He looked down. "Dad paid for the legal fees, but we haven't really spoken since the court case. I think he's embarrassed by me. My mum just pretends that nothing ever happened. If I try to discuss it with her, she tells me not to be daft, and that the past is past." Andrea maintained eye contact with him. "That sounds incredibly challenging, Jeff. How does that make you feel?" Jeff's eyes clouded. "It hurts. I feel like I've let them down." Andrea nodded. "I can see how that would be painful for you. We can definitely work on that as we move forward. For now, let's focus on helping you with your sleep. How does that sound?" "Oh, that would be... I can't remember the last time I had a good night's sleep." He paused to consider. "Well, actually I can. It was before the accident. I was lucky. If Dad didn't have such a good lawyer, it could have meant jail time." For a moment, an expression almost broke through Andrea's marble-like professional demeanor before she restored the coolly sympathetic mask of a therapist. She adjusted her pose to mirror his body language. "That must have been a very distressing time for you. Today, I'd like to start with some guided breathing exercises and some exposure therapy. Have you tried those techniques before?" Jeff looked sharply at the laptop. "Exposure therapy? We'll be using our meditation to return to the scene of the accident in a controlled manner to help you process your post-traumatic stress disorder." "Okay, I mean, it sounds terrifying, but I'd like to try. I'll try anything. I'm desperate. I just want one good night's sleep. I want to assure you that these are just techniques that have shown a lot of success with people in similar situations before. Our aim will be to ensure that your sleepless nights are over." She pulled out an antique metronome. "Have you seen one of these before?" Jeff shrugged, nonplussed. My My grandmother had one on her piano. It helps you improve your rhythm? Andrea nodded. Exactly. We'll be using it for the same reason when I guide you through meditation. She started it going. It's soft tick-tock sounding as she spoke. Are you in a place where you can comfortably lie down, as I requested in my emails? Jeff lay back on the sofa and looked up at the ceiling as the metronome continued its slow, gentle beat. Good. Now, if you can close your eyes, I want you to focus on the sound of the metronome. Listen to the sound. Tick, breathe in. Tock, hold your breath. Tick, breathe out. Tock, hold your breath. Her slow, melodious voice merged with the metronome, and Jeff felt a bone-deep sense of relaxation flow through his body. Tick, tock. Andrea once more slowed the metronome, and his heart rate slowed along with his breathing. His body felt heavy as it pressed into the sofa's firm cushions. After a few minutes, how, Jeff couldn't say, Andrea said, "The sun has fallen. The moon is rising. You're in your car. The rhythmic sound of the engine is purring." Jeff felt a moment of consternation. Did she just increase the metronome speed? The bushes and trees flash by you as you hurtle down the country lanes at breakneck speed without a care in the world. Jeff tried to speak to correct her, but he was in such a deep torpor that he couldn't. He was going over the speed limit, true, but everyone did on those lanes. You're happy, confident. You're smiling as you drive. Your music's loud. Can you taste the alcohol on your breath? Tick, tock. Anger flared in Jeff's mind, and he tried to open his eyes, but it was as though he was in a dream. He hadn't told her about the drinking. She was making assumptions. He could taste the wine now. Jeff was trying to give up alcohol. Now that stupid woman was giving him a thirst. The flavour rolls around your mouth. Your breath is tinged with a decadent odour as you fearlessly hurtle around the blind corners. He tried to move his limbs, but they remained motionless. A sense of panic started to creep into his mind. Why couldn't he wake up? What had this bitch done to him? Tick, tock. Jeff listened to the sound of the metronome. He was certain it was going faster now. He tried to turn his head, and with horror, he found he no longer had control of his own body. He was a prisoner, forced to listen to this judgmental Bint's fantasy. The creatures of the night, the owl, the fox, and the bat, all go about their business, but you're oblivious as you continue inexorably on your question, on your journey to your adventure's conclusion. The only thing on your mind is yourself. He knew now the metronome was definitely going faster. He was beginning to sweat as his heart pulsed in rhythm to the now rapidly ticking device. How could he warn her? He wanted to stop. Why hadn't they discussed safe words? That is what people do in these situations. Right? Tick, tock. Please stop, he silently begged, as the therapist narrated the tale of that hateful night. A crossroads is coming up, but you bear it no heed. Why would you? You're young, drunk, and high on life. You're immortal. It wasn't my fault. The lights are red, but you don't see them, do you? The therapist's voice developed a harsh tang of anger. Her earlier dispassion giving way to an audible bitterness. How do you know this? Tick-tock. The metronome clicked faster. Jeff's mouth was dry as he hyperventilated. His lungs burned. Do you see it, Jeff? Please stop. Please. A blue Vauxhall Corsa. Can you see the driver? Of course I couldn't see the fucking driver. It was all too quick. But as the scene was recreated in his mind to the rapid sound of the metronome, he did see the driver. Pains lanced through his chest as he saw the enormous bush of hair, as he saw Andrea and... No. Tick-tock. And in the back of the car? What do you see? He felt tears roll down his cheeks as he saw the image he tried so hard to block out. He saw what had haunted him in the depths of the night, what had led him to stare at the ceiling in wide wakefulness, the image he'd told nobody about. The baby carrier. Tick-tock. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. It was an accident, for fuck's sake. The driver will end up in hospital for a week with a fractured skull before being released. Her son, however, died quickly. I suppose that is a mercy in a way. He spared the memories, the seething hatred, the scorching fury, the emptiness. She faltered before resuming her rhythmic speaking. Tick-tock. The pain in Jeff's heart grew, spreading like liquid fire as he felt himself drifting away. The driver will be in therapy for months for depression, but it turns out that you are the cure. When she finds the man who tore her life away, has posted an advert online asking for recommendations for a cheap but good therapist, she leaps at the chance. Tick-tock. She happily waived her fee for a chance to meet her son's killer. Can you smell it, Jeff? The brimstone, the acrid scent. Jeff could smell it. He could feel the fires burning his flesh as he slipped away from life and towards his deserved fate. Tick-tock, tick-tock, tick-tock.